Welcome back to the channel. Hi my friends, my name's Tabitha and I'm here to talk about what happens after you wake up, after awakening when everything is like really fucked up. You don't have any idea what to do. That's what this channel's about, because I've also been there. I'll tell you more about that, going forward and in the future. But I struggled a lot post awakening, post wake up, after realizing, who I was and where I was and why I came to this planet and what I'm doing here and who I really am outside of this human body. That's a journey when you realize all of those things about yourself and you come into this awareness of who you are and what you're doing here and all of that. And there's a lot of challenges that can be associated with that. So I really don't want you to go through the same difficulties that I did. I've learned a lot. I've built a lot of tools and developed a lot of frameworks. So that's what this is about, offering you some of those tools and frameworks so that you don't have as difficult of a time. After you wake up, the reality is it's very challenging. Everything seems distorted and nothing makes a lot of sense. Everything seems upside down, right? Because it is. Because you spent your whole life being conditioned in certain ways and being taught certain things and being taught to feel certain things and think certain things. And that if you didn't feel and think and believe those things, then there was something wrong with you and you were broken and you weren't good enough. Right? So when you come out of that and you begin to see that all of that structure is false and it's programming and it's not true and it's not real and it's not valid, and your whole world essentially turns upside down. Everything is like weirdly distorted and everything's like upside down and nothing makes sense and you feel like you're crazy. Am I crazy? Am I imagining all of this? Have I made all of this up? Is this thing that I can feel in my bones to be true, is it all just garbage? Am I just a lunatic? Did I make all of this up? Is this all fake? Right? And that's how it feels a lot of the time. And it's not fake. You're not a lunatic. You're not crazy. It is true. Right? All that crap is garbage and you are waking up from it, and that is challenging and difficult, and don't think that it's not, because it is. And so, I wrote this down, that we're not going back to the old world. And if you think we are, you should try it and see what it feels like, right? Like, why don't you try and see how it feels to put on that old world mask again? Can you even do it? Can you even shove yourself into that box? Like, can you think about putting that mask back on and what it feels like? That doesn't feel good. Right? We can't do things that don't feel good. Like, your feeling about it is a pretty telling barometer of whether or not the thing is beneficial for you. If it feels bad, it's probably not beneficial for you in the long run, right? But if it feels good, it's a lot more likely to be something that's good for you. So just think about shoving yourself back into that false matrix box and putting that mask back on and getting the job that you're supposed to get and doing the things that don't make sense to you, but they are the things that the world has told you, like, this is how you structure your life. This is how you're supposed to do the things. You get the job, the family, the kids, the dog, the whatever, the things, right? Even just think about going back to that and think about how bad that makes you feel. That's a pretty strong indicator that that's not real, that that's not for you. That's not beneficial for you. It would in fact be very bad for you if you went back to that. So all you have to do is think about what that would feel like, and you would understand that's not for you. That's not where you're going. That's not your truth. Feelings are important, and for me they were a big part of awakening, was learning to listen to my feelings, learning to listen to how I felt and using that as an indicator of my intuition. I was not raised with feelings. That was not a thing that we had in my house. We did not talk about feelings. They did not exist as far as anyone was concerned, and I was actively taught to shove them down inside and repress them. So for me, that was a big part of my awakening, was learning to feel and experience my emotions. And then once I learned to feel and experience them, I was able to put them into use in my intuition to help guide my decisions and choices and actions, which, let's face it, when you are an awakened being and inside the false matrix, it is very difficult to find an accurate judge of your actions. It's very difficult to find anything outside of you that will accurately let you know whether or not your actions are good. That information has to come from inside you. That is the world that we are heading to, a world in which all beings are sovereign and have free will and have not outsourced any of their power and are in fact able to make the best decisions for themselves because A, they worry about themselves, not other people, and B, they've learned to listen to their own intuition in such a way that it actually enables them to make the best decisions for their life. That's the whole point. That's the point of intuition, that you are able to make the best decisions for you because you listen to yourself, not someone outside of you telling you what's best for you. Nobody outside of you knows what's best for you. You know what's best for you. And we like to outsource our power sometimes and make ourselves a victim because that's easier. You don't have to take any responsibility or accountability for your situation or where you're at. If you've given away all your power to someone else, oh, I'm sad and miserable, it's someone else's fault. But when you take accountability, I'm sad and miserable, it's my fault. It's because of the choices and decisions that I've made in my life. I better go change those things so that I'm not happy, or so that I'm not unhappy and miserable anymore. So that I'm happy and that I feel good and I feel satisfied in my life. The old systems just won't work anymore. They're based on fear. They're based on power over someone else, right? They're based on them, someone, keeping you, keeping everyone, keeping all of us in check, keeping us doing this thing that they said that we're supposed to do. We fall in line. We fall in line with their systems and their hierarchy so they can have power over us. That is false matrix dynamic. That is old world shit. That is not, we are not doing that going forward. Okay, we are not having power over other people. We are all taking back our own power. We are standing in our own sovereignties. Okay, the idea of giving away your power, the idea of hustle culture. I'm not doing that shit anymore. This is not about working, just working all the time for the sake of working. Okay, this channel is about work. It is certainly about the value that you add to the world, the work that you do. Many of us have come into this planet with a job to do. We have a mission, we have a task, we have something that we are going to be working on. Okay? Me, I build tools and spaces where people can access their own ability to heal themselves and live their best life. That's what this is. This is a space where people can do that. I have lots of tools that I have developed. I will develop more. I will offer them here for you. There will be lots of tools and frameworks for you to use here because I have discovered that that is my mission. That is what I'm doing here. Okay, that is my new world identity. That is not old world shit, because I'll tell you what, that identity does not fit in the old world. There is no place for that identity that I can feel with every ounce of my being. That is why I am here. This is what I am doing. This is why I came to this planet. Right? I cannot take that and put that in the old world. It does not fit in the false matrix. It does not fit in the hustle culture mentality. It does not fit in this productivity category of YouTube videos that you watch to learn how to make better Notion templates or use your time more wisely or get an AI bot to schedule your meetings. You can do all of those things. Certainly, I do some of them. They're helpful tools. But that's not what this is about. This is not about you working smarter. This is about you figuring out why you're here and how you're going to do it. Because it's difficult right now. There's a lot of old world shit still going on. There's a lot of false matrix still here. Yes, it's crumbling. Yes, it's rumbling. Yes, the structures are shaking. Yes, the pillars have been falling down. But it is still standing. It's still here. And we still have to fit ourselves into it. And we still have to pay our bills and pay our rent and pay the water bill and go buy groceries for our kids and make sure that everybody has shoes. And we still have to do those things, right? So we have to find a way to integrate who we are, why we are here, the person, the being we are becoming with this old world that we have to live in at the same time. That can be a difficult thing to do. So So that is something that I am hoping to be able to help you with. And to that end, I do in fact have a framework that I want to present to you for a post-awakening architecture. It's just something to think about. So I like to structure things. I like to create frameworks. I like to plan things. It's just how my brain works, okay? So I'm gonna present this framework to you, which is 3 main points. And so I would suggest to you that you could use these 3 main points to figure out what it is that you're doing now that you've awakened and what it is that you're going to do in this new world to move forward. Okay, so it's in 3 phases, and phase 1 is taking an inventory. All right, so in taking an inventory, it's really about thinking about like what lights you up, what makes you feel good, what brings you joy, what makes you feel happy to work on it. Like I said, I enjoy creating frameworks and tools. Like I love that. It's fun for me. So I knew that was something that was going to be important for me. What is that for you? What lights you up? What makes you feel really good? What is it that when you're working on it, you can just lose track of time and all of a sudden you look up and you go, holy shit, it's 6 hours later. I forgot to eat. I need to go to bed. I got to do this thing. But I was so engrossed in my work on this one thing that I totally lost track of time. That is a super, super important indicator for you that this is an area that you should explore. If something makes you feel good and it gives you joy and it lights you up, do more of it. Don't do shit that makes you feel bad. Do shit that makes you feel good. That, okay? And then think about, what are your natural talents? Like, what are you naturally good at? I'm a super Virgo. I'm good at organizing information. What are you naturally good at? What are your talents? And what are your skills that you've developed, right? Like, I assume you're not a baby watching this channel. I assume you're probably some kind of an adult. So you would have developed some skill sets over a period of time in your life, either for work or for, school or for whatever. So think about those 3 things together. What makes you feel really good? What lights you up? What do you love doing? What are you really good at naturally? And what skill sets have you developed that you can carry forward, right? Now, not every skill set probably will go into the new world, but there's probably ways that you can bring in almost everything. You just have to find a way to use it that's aligned both with your personal truth and with the overall greater truth of the new world. Now, it's a little esoteric sounding, but we can talk about that a little later on, maybe too. Okay, so phase 1 was the inventories. Phase 2, this is the excavation. All right, so now we've gotten an idea of like the things that we're really good at and what we want to focus on, but at the same time, we also have to think about what is it that we need to continue to get rid of, because you're awakened, but I promise you've still got some work to do to release all of those conditionings and masks that the world has put on you for your whole life up until this point. All right, if you've been told something for your whole life, if you're, 25 years old, 40 years old, 80 years old, whatever, if you've been told something for your entire life, it's going to take a little bit of work for you to stop believing it. Okay, so that's what this one is about. What programs and beliefs are still trying to creep in around the edges? What are you still struggling with? The idea that maybe you're not good enough, the idea that maybe you don't have the ability to do what you want to do, the idea that you will never be able to earn money if you do it this way, right? That's a big one. A lot of times, we have this program that you can't earn money doing what you love. You can't do that. There's another big program that says you can't earn money as a spiritual being, right? Like if you're doing something that is spiritual in nature, you won't be able to earn money at it, or you shouldn't earn money at it. The idea that, you shouldn't earn money if you're a spiritual person, that money is bad somehow. That's not true. Money's nothing. Money is just a way to move resources around our economy. It doesn't inherently have any good or bad virtue. It is a thing, right? We can certainly assign negative or positive ideas to it, but like inherently money is neutral. It doesn't have a soul. It's just a thing, right? It's just a way to move resources around. So if you're still struggling with money, right, with the idea of money, or good people don't have money, or whatever it is, there's a lot of programs around money. You're gonna have to deal with that. Or other programs, the idea that you have to, work your balls off in order to be successful. No, you don't, right? You can work as much as you want to and be successful. You don't have to work all the time in order to be successful or productive. Okay, so like these are some of the ideas of like old limiting patterns that you might still be holding, and you've got to start working through those, because that's, you know, that's moving forward. You will not be able to bring those things with you. There is no room in the boat that's heading forward for those old programmings. You got to let them go. So you can either do it gently, or you can have it ripped away from you in, you know, a big shakeup, which sometimes that's what people have. Sometimes we have tower moments in our lives, and sometimes you need a big shakeup. But if you can do it in a gentle way, if you can, you know, work on it a little bit at a time to release those programs, it will be easier for you. What are you still trying to fix or prove that doesn't belong to you? That's another piece of this, right? Like, are you still trying to prove that you're good enough? Are you still trying to fix a certain area of your life or fix someone else? You have to get rid of those things. You have to, we are paying attention to ourselves now. We are not paying attention to people outside of us. They're not part of our internal process. Now, I'm not saying like ignore everyone in the world, obviously. You couldn't, it wouldn't be possible. And, you know, if you have a partner or a child, you're not ignoring them. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that your work needs to be focused on you. You're not trying to improve anyone else. You're not trying to fix anyone else. You're not trying to fix anything else. You are focused on yourself. Okay? That you have to be in that self-focused position. I'll pull in a little astrology. Neptune and Saturn are either like in Aries or about to move into Aries or whatever. And Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. Aries is about independence. It is about doing your own thing. It is about personal leadership. It is about knowing who you are and acting on that. Okay, so we have two major planets moving into Aries right now. And so this is an excellent time for focusing on yourself. I saw something somewhere that was calling it radical selfishness. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool sentiment. It's not really selfishness, it's self-awareness and self-focus. Because let me tell you something, if you're not focused on improving yourself, who do you think is? You think somebody outside of you is focused on improving you? Unlikely. Or maybe a little bit. You know, a partner could be helping improve us, or a therapist, someone that you pay, you know, to help you do that. But in general, other people are not focused on helping you become a better person. They're focused on themselves. And you need to be focused on yourself. That's not selfish. It's just like you came in to this body. If you wanted to be in someone else's body, you would have come in their body. You didn't. You came in this body. So you need to focus on yourself. And another question is, where are you still trying to fit in to a world that does not deserve you? Okay, the old matrix does not deserve the awakened you. It is not useful for either you or the old matrix for you to be in that. You are in the new world. You are building the new world. Let us look forward. Let's build forward. That's what we're doing. All right, so quit looking back. Like Lot's wife at Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Like, quit looking back. Keep moving forward. Keep going forward. Build forward. Stop trying to fit in to the old matrix. It's not for you anymore. You're a system buster. You're here to wake up, to change shit, to change the world. So don't focus on that old world. Focus on the new. That's where we're heading. That's where we're building. That's where we're growing. Okay? Don't focus on what's dead and gone. Focus on the new. Okay, so phase 1 was the inventory, taking an inventory. Phase 2 is excavation, getting rid of the fucking thoughts and beliefs that are done, old world shit, getting rid of it. And then phase 3 is construction, all right? And this is where we are now building for the future. We are actually building. We're not building for the past. And this is a challenging thing, because everything, like, I have an MBA. So I have a lot of business education. And I will tell you that almost all of the business education that I have received is focused on building for the old world. All of the business education that I have received that is focused on the new world, I have gotten that myself. I have gone out and figured out how to do things in a way that supports the world that I envision and that I am working to bring into existence. Okay, I have a very clear vision of a world in which all beings have done the work to heal themselves. That is the world that I am working to build. Every single thing that I do, I think to myself, is this building that world? If the answer is no, or I'm not sure, then I probably won't do it. If the answer is yes, this is building the new world, then yeah, I'm gonna do it. even if nobody notices, even if nobody pays attention, even if no one's aware of it but me. I know that I'm doing the thing that I need to do to build the new world and bring it into existence. I am building the structures now for what I envision 5, 10, 20, 100 years down the road. Okay? That's what the construction phase is. Now that means that as you are creating work for yourself, as you are creating systems for yourself, as you are creating networks and relationships going forward, they are all with this in mind. Is this building the world that I envision us moving towards? If the answer is yes, great, go for it. If the answer is no, pause, take a look at it, feel into it. How does it feel? Does that feel like the thing you should be doing? Does it maybe feel a little off? That's something to think about. And the number one point for the construction phase is to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself. You know why you came in now at this time to this planet. You know why you're here. You just have to remember. Like if you're watching this video, if you've made it through 21 minutes of this video so far and you're still here and you're watching me and you're still listening to me, talking about whatever's in my mind, then you came in here with a mission, my friend. This is not like nobody who didn't come in with a mission is stuck around for 20 minutes of this video, right? It wouldn't resonate with them. It's not for them. It's for you. Right? So you found your way here. You're listening to this. Trust yourself. You know what you're doing. You don't need anyone outside of you, including me, to tell you what to do. You just have to remember who you are and why you're here. A big part of awakening is that remembering, right? So you've done some remembering already. I can assure you there is more to do. The remembering never seems to stop. Now I'm, still alive and still growing and learning and remembering. So I can't say with certainty that it never stops, but so far it hasn't stopped for me. You just keep remembering more about who you are and why you're here and the mission and skills and tools that you have to do this mission, to do this thing that you came in to do. You know it. But you got to trust yourself. And when that shit comes up, and sometimes it's wild, and you get these ideas and thoughts and they come up and you go, that cannot be true. That is insane. And then you sit with it for a while and you're like, no, I think it is true. You have to trust yourself. You have to learn to trust yourself. That's a key component of this. Because like I said, nobody else has your truth. You are the only one that has your truth. Okay, so you have to listen to yourself and remember, and just trust that you will remember, because you will. All right, that's why you're here. You didn't come in to not be able to remember everything and just feel frustrated the whole time you're here. You came in here to remember, but that is a process. And so you have to give yourself some grace as you're going through the process. Trust the process, as the kids say. It does take time. It's not instantaneous. Nothing worth having is instantaneous. That's not true. But many things that are worth having take time. We have to work for them a little bit. It doesn't just happen overnight. You got to work on it. Okay? So be prepared to do that. And as I'm wrapping this up now, I've given you my 3 points in this framework, but I want you to remember that you're not alone. Okay? There are lots of us here. And I've been on this path for a while. I've been awake for a while. I needed some time to get comfortable with the idea of teaching what I've learned. And now that's what I'm doing, because this is my path, right? And I talked about Aries before. I'm an Aries moon. My moon sign is in Aries. And so I really like to go first. I don't like it when people are in front of me going slow. I like to be in front, moving fast, going, figuring it out, being the first person, being the pioneer, right? That's part of the natural talents that I came in with. And so I've been doing that. I've been going first. I've been figuring it out. I've been saying, okay, none of this makes sense. I feel crazy, but I got to keep going, because if I think about putting myself back to where I was before, that feels even worse than this not knowing feeling that I have now. So you're not alone. That's my point. My point is that you're not alone, right? That I'm here. I am here for you. I am not a guru, certainly. I think I'm actually going to talk about gurus in the next video, and about outsourcing your power and giving your power away versus maintaining your own sovereignty. And I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not a guru. I do not have your answers. I do not have your truth. What I have are frameworks and tools for how you can find your own answers and your own truth. That's it. So if this resonates with you, I would love for you to stick around and stay here, and like leave a comment, please. And I would really love to know like where you're at in your journey, what it is that you're building. We are building this new world, like together, all of us who are awake and doing this. Like we're a big construction crew, even though we're not always connected. We're not always like aware that other people are doing this, but we are. There's lots of people building all over the world. So I would love to know what you're building. Like, where are you in your awakening journey? What are you building? What are the challenges that you're having, and how can I support you? That's what this is about, right? Like I said, like I've been doing this for a while, and I've gone first, and I have some tools and frameworks, but I can always build more, and I'd love to build more, and I would love to build more for you. So please let me know what it is that you're struggling with and where you're having challenges, and let's like build this together, because like, let's face it, this whole world is fucked. Like everything is kind of fucked right now. So we have to unfuck it. And I think that means that like we really have to work together in order to do that. So do it. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're at, and let's build together. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.